Hello everyone, welcome to day 109 of playing chess every day for you. Let's find the game. It's starting as black. E4. So Caro-Kann decides to push. I could push this way myself, but I'll keep the structure. And gives a check. I'll kick the bishop next. I can expand on this side. I also had checks here, which attack the bishop, but then my opponent would just block. Or actually they'd have to play this knight move to defend. My structure looks weird, but I think it's not so bad. Tempos my queen. That's interesting. If I block this takes, I can just block here. Also threatening to take this. Takes. I can take with the knight. But then that pins my knight and this kicks the bishop away. Right away, but this taking with the pawn weakens my king tremendously. So I'll actually take with the knight here. My king is still weak here, but I'll be able to push. My opponent's bishop's hanging. Attacks my knight. So just taking seems good. Takes. Taking the knight seems correct. Takes. There's this queen check now, but I just move, which I missed. Wap a pawn, but my pawn structure is very weak. Doubled pawns. They are outside pawns, but at least I do have the center, which is very nice. This queen check is dangerous. I think the only move I could have is running the king. Running the king here walks into... I think I just run the king here. I did just walk into this check, but I think if I went here it'd be fine. Bishop back. I have my own checks here. If the bishop blocks, I wouldn't have any good moves. I could attack this and go after these pawns. Could also kick the bishop away. Could open up an attack on this rook, but that just activates the piece, so I'm not sure. I need to activate my pieces. This isn't hanging. Takes. My opponent still threatens a check, but I think the check is okay. If I go here and check, I can go here. There will be this check though. Maybe I just run my king to the corner, but my king is very unsafe, which is why I don't like. Bishop b7, I can attack two separate. Attack a piece and a pawn. It looks okay. I could take the open file here, but I lose the rook. I think a queen trade absolutely helps me. I think I will go for a queen trade. Knight comes in. It goes for this. I'll look for a queen trade here. I do lose a pawn, but I'm able to kick the bishop away and attack this. I also have this fork. My opponent doesn't queen trade, I have a fork, which my opponent walked into. This looks very powerful. It's a fork and a tempo on the queen. I don't want to miss the chance to fork the pieces now though. I didn't see any checks. This is coming next. I think bishop b7 did set up an attack on the queen and on the pieces, but I did not want to miss the chance to take the pieces. Taking this way weakens my opponent's structures, but actually I am actually pinned to my king now. My opponent threatens to take. I can defend this one. This is a check now. My opponent is threatening to take. Knight comes in, it's a good move. I can actually pin the knight now to the queen. It would be this check, but I just go here. Opponent wins my queen, but I hit their queen. Oh wow, decides to sacrifice the queen. Wins a piece. That's good play. That's very good. But I win a piece also. This structure is horrendous. I do have this check coming. I can pin this. So the knight has these squares. If I go rook here, I can trap this knight. Although my king can't cross this line. I think with bishop h6 I win this knight. Well, I'm in the rook endgame, but my structure is terrible. I can go after the pawn with this move. This also attacks the knight. Actually, this knight isn't trapped. It gets to escape to this square. But I take here with check. I'm attacking the knight right now and the pawn. So if I go here, the knight has these squares. This is also just a clean fork, but actually it's not because I take with check and then I activate my rook. Oh wow, I missed that. I could pin this knight. My opponent has, I was going to say no checks, but I can't pin the knight. Can't go for this. This loses. Actually, here there aren't any checks. Rook d8 looks like the best move here. I have 12 minutes and a half on the board. It's time to calculate. Rook d8. Rook d8 just looks like the best move. If this move comes in, I have this. But then actually my opponent has discovered checks, which are deadly. I'm trying to be very careful. I take the piece, my opponent takes the piece with check. I take the rook, there's this, and then there's this. My opponent's up pawns. Could give this check. Let me see. This check. Sack the piece for the pawn. Takes, I win a piece. Seems like the best choice. There's this move. I'll go for this. I win the piece and I win the pawn. Being down these two pawns is not good for me. A rook trade doesn't help me. I lose this. And I really want to go after this. And I will. Maybe there's this. No. I'm down two pass pawns there on the outside of the board. I'm going for a rook trade here. Maybe going for this check. I always escape with my king, I think. Unless my opponent doubles up. So I'm just looking for this attack on the pawn. Gives me a lot of checks. If I run my king now, my king seems... I'm just going for this idea. Doubling up on this. If check, I go here. Check here. Yeah, I just run my king to the corner. I have checks also. Okay, so check. King has to step. If the king steps here, check. If the king steps here, it's a blunder. Just walks into this. I want to give checks to check. King here. Check. King here, I give another check. And I win tempos. Check. I mean, I could repeat, just repeat moves. I'm down. It seems like such a good idea with these two pawns on the outside of the board to take a draw. So, step here please. So I have this. That'd be very nice. King goes here, just go for this. King has to go here. I will take a draw. Down 3 pawns. There's also this. My pawns are doubled on the outside of the board. My opponent has 2 outside passed pawns, so I'll take a draw here. I obviously could play for a win here, but I just think I'm in a much worse position. The king does run, okay. And I think check is wrong here. I have this check, but the king just goes here. Now I think I'm in trouble because my opponent decides to run the king. This check gives my opponent this. I'd go here, but then I lose this. I think I need to start playing on this rank. Oh wow, I thought I blundered here, but no, my rooks defend each other. I have checks, but king just steps here. My rooks together in the second rank. Okay, so goes there. If I go here, there's checks, but if I go here, there's this check. I think I need to step up. If I step up, it seems very dangerous. If I step up, this doesn't work. If I step up, there aren't any checks. I do lose this. But then I'm attacking this. And this doesn't work. There is that check, which I missed. Oh wow, this is very bad. I have this move. I have to be really careful here. So here, there is this check. King here. Is king here even a good move? This check comes in and I'm in big trouble. I have to go. Yeah, this is my only square. I can't put my king there. I am in big trouble here. A draw would have been great. My opponent didn't go for the draw though. Obviously. They're in the winning position. Now I'm not threatening. If I put my rook on e2 and my rook on d2, I'm threatening mate. Rook e2, rook d2 is checkmate for me. Which is crazy. Gives me this check. That's good. Now I have to step away. Oh wow. I'm in big trouble. I have to step back. If I step back, there isn't this check, but there is. This check seems strong. I'd go here. I can't step back. I have to stick near this pawn. I don't have this square for my rook, unfortunately. Let's see moves like this. I'm in big trouble here. I think check, I have to go here again. I lose a pawn though. I don't lose a pawn, it's defended, but I'm in big trouble here. We have so much time on the clock. But I think I'm completely lost here. This check comes in. Going here does allow me to. So going here does allow me to go here. But this is just so dangerous. My king is cut off on this side of the board. If I go here, and here there is this check. Here is this check here. There is this check, which is mate. Wow. I have to step here. Again. This I go here. There's just checkmate here. Wow, so I think I have nothing other than giving checks. King here, I go here. King here, I wish I had this check, but not possible. Pushing is not an option. I also have no good moves. This doesn't achieve anything. Pushing seems okay, but I think... So push, there's this check. I go here. I'll push. I have an outside pass pawn, but if I could get behind it, that would be huge, but that's 2 tempos. And I'm in trouble here. I'm attacking this rook. If I could get my rook here, that would be huge for me. If this... My opponent can't come in here, which is great. If the rook moves, I go here. Just defend my king. Okay, so it goes for this. If I push, they go behind. If I win this, it's good for me. If they get behind the pawn, I mean push, there is check, and I go, oh wow, push, check. I actually can't move anywhere with my king. I have to go here first. But here it just walks into a fork. This is so annoying. I think I just go for a rook trade. Oh, I just walked into the fork. Oh my god. Yep. Yep. I resign here. My opponent played at a 75.1, I played at a 69. We had 1 blunder each. I had 4 mistakes though. My opponent had 1. Early in the game, I was actually completely winning at one point. I had 1 huge blunder, which almost gave my opponent mate. Then I was worse for most of the game. My opponent blundered at one point and we had a draw. There were 2 points in the game where we had a complete draw. It was completely equal. And then of course I walked into a fork at the end of the game. I was trying to... It's too hard to explain. I played the Caro-Kann defense. Blocking with the knight is correct. Actually going for bishop trade is better. Because I'm defending this twice and I have pressure on these. I should have actually taken. What? No, I should have taken on here. So kicking the bishop away is best. A bishop trade just wins me tempo again. So this was the position where I was plus 3.6 with the hanging bishop. If I just played bishop to e7, looking for a trade, I'd be much better. I'd win a piece. It was actually better to go for this check. It's the best move. What's the line? The bishop d2 is the only move. Then I pick up the bishop and then my piece is hanging. And it's queen e4 check. King f1. I take. That makes sense. Running my king was the only move. I couldn't go this way. That would be very bad. I have a fork here. It's only +1 for me. It was better to just move my king. Yeah, I did see queen in, which looks strong because I'm putting pressure on this and I'm just holding everything. So I completely missed this fork. I completely blunder here. Did I blunder this? Wow, my king has to move again. opponent picks up my queen. And it's just over. Wow, and this was a huge blunder, which I completely missed. This king to c8 move, it lets the queen in. Would check. Here was still terrible. This is also a blunder, really. King up is the only move. The queen has to move because of tempo on the queen. Check isn't good, I win the piece. Wow, I completely missed this huge blunder. And I'm just lost here. My opponent decides to take the bishop though, with check, which is terrible. Because yes, my opponent wins a piece, which is good. But they completely missed this check, which would have won them the game probably. Like after queen check, my best move is king b8. And they just win my queen. And have huge chances to win very early. I take the bishop that's hanging, so technically we're equal here. But my structure is horrible. I have two sets of doubled pawns, an isolated pawn in front of my king. It's horrible pawn structure. One of the worst I've had. Yeah, so rook b6 did nearly trap the knight after this bishop move, but my opponent played this, and this is just a mistake. It gives my opponent check, which I played far too quickly. Should have just played bishop up. And my opponent comes in. And rook to d8 was actually a terrible move. I should have sacrificed my bishop. Why? I pick up the knight with my king. Wow, okay. And we're equal. My opponent's slightly better because of his pawns, but I should have just sacrificed the bishop before this rook move. I didn't have to make this rook move. So this position is much worse than where I took with my king. For me. This is a blunder. I should have taken the pawn. Right here. And this position is just a draw. Wow. We had a draw here, not through repetition, but in material. According to the valuation. I'm able to take here, and the main thing is I'm able to take this. Which I assume is the best move. a3, check, king d1. We trade, and according to the computer it's just a draw. My opponent just plays, I completely missed just taking the, I didn't miss taking the pawn. I thought my opponent would repeat moves. So king c2, the king runs. All my king moves were good. That's a mistake. I have a fork here. Oh, I just win the pawn. I completely missed this. I'm still doing worse here, but king e3, I give some checks. This wasn't good. I should have gone after this. Or going here. It doesn't attack the pawn, but... And of course, my worst move the entire game. After I just said this walks into a fork. And trying to demonstrate, I actually move my rook and walk into a fork. And here the game's just lost. There's nothing I can do. I even played this terrible rook move. My best move was going back, just trying to somehow defend. Attack this pawn. Yep, so I blunder him. Just rook to d5. Walks into a clean fork. And I can't take the pawn because it's defended. Terrible. I also see that this game I used almost no time on my moves. I ended the game with 10 minutes on the clock. We both played very quickly, but I should just start using more time. I think my biggest problem recently is that I'm playing far too quickly and I'm not using any of my time on the clock. I am still much more used to 10-minute games instead of 15 plus 10, but I have to really start using more of my time to calculate because I'm just playing silly moves. I play very well most of the game, but I do have blunders which are not easy to see, but they completely lose games. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.